Good afternoon. Just a wrap-up of the council meeting and the work session for the City of Grand Rapids for Monday, September 25th, 2017. The work session this afternoon was actually a field trip. We went from council chambers over to the fire hall to inspect the condition of the building, the roof and the doors, and some of the capital improvement requests that were in there, but also some additional requests for work on the building to get it back up to snuff from a standpoint of how we expect to maintain the buildings within the City of Grand Rapids. So more to follow on that as far as how and what gets done, but we are looking very seriously at replacing quite a few doors over there and putting a new roof. The roof on there, a flat roof in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, as you know, typically only lasts 20, 25 years, and the roofs on the fire hall were put in 1970s, so we've gotten well past the 30-year mark on the roofs over there, and we are experiencing some significant leaks in some of the corners that's coming down and damaging some of the equipment. So we do need to do something, as well as some work on the doors on the building. At the council meeting this afternoon, we had a proclamation for Constitution Week. Keep that in mind, that September 17th to the 23rd is Constitution Week, observing the formation and the signing of the Constitution of the United States, so 230 some years ago. A couple of things that we did this evening. On consent, we moved forward. Once we approved the bills, we moved forward the discussion on our levy payable in 18 and the dates. So December 4th at 6:01, we'll have a meeting to discuss the proposed budget, the levy, and allow for public comment. December 11th, 2017, for a subsequent meeting to adopt the final levy and budget. And as we look at it, right now we are looking at having everything over to the county by September 29th. So we are on schedule to make all of our commitments there with the county on that. Our levy for 2017 payable in 2018 is going to be 82.493. Now it can drop some, but it cannot go up. Our tax rate, city tax rate for 2016 payable in 2017, the taxes that you are currently paying was 82.293. So it's only going up 0.2 of a percentage point. And that's proposed. It could drop slightly based on some healthcare issues and some other budget changes that could occur between now and the December final setting of that levy limit. We also accepted and moved some closing of a debt service fund from 2006B, and we moved $817 over to the capital project fund for permanent improvements revolving fund. We approved taproom license and brewer off sale for the Clockow Brewing Company. If you are on the south side of town in the old Northwestern Bell building behind the pharmacy up there on 10th, that's where that brewery is going to be. So they are progressing. I believe that they have scheduled an October opening for their taproom and stuff, so we wish them well. We accepted a Clean Water Legacy grant from the state of Minnesota. We adopted an ordinance for aggressive panhandling, how we are going to deal with aggressive panhandling in the city. We applied for Minnesota Department of Iron Range Resources Development Infrastructure Program Business Assistance for Grand Itasca Clinic. There's a project over there, so they qualify for some assistance on the hospital build-out for the cancer and oncology wing there, so that was approved this evening as well. We had a public hearing this evening vacating certain portions of easements within the City of Grand Rapids. We received one letter that was very supportive of what we were doing, from taking care of easements that were no longer useful or needed. So we did have that meeting, and we vacated 3 publicly retained easements located within Block 9 and Block 6 of Grand Rapids, respectively. And then finally, under community development, we accepted a commercial redevelopment grant from IRRB for Sammy's Pizza, the development of an expansion of Sammy's Pizza. If you know where Sammy's is on top of Powers Hill, or Pecagma Avenue as it's now called, the Pizza Hut building is owned by the Giroulis, and the house behind it is owned by the Giroulis, and they're going to be tearing down the Pizza Hut building and that White House behind it, opening up space to put an addition on the Sammy's Pizza building. All in all, it's going to be a great addition up on the hill from that standpoint. So there were 4 issues that we dealt with there as it retains and pertains to the demolition of the buildings and stuff, and then how that is compensated and covered, and who they use to oversee it from the city side, which would be SEH. So with that, did want to touch on Rob Matei's community development report. Rob had a lot of stuff this evening at the council meeting. It was also his turn that comes up about twice a year. And he talked about some of the building in Grand Rapids. This is the 3rd busiest year from the construction standpoint that we've had since 2004. Keep in mind, in 2007, we had about a $39 million total between commercial, residential, and government businesses and building in the city of Grand Rapids. $39 million in 2007, and then in 2015, we ended up with about $29 million of development in the city of Grand Rapids, and through August of this year, we're sitting at 23, almost $24 million of new building permits and opportunities for expansion in the city of Grand Rapids. So all in all, a very nice report from Rob Matei out of Community Development, continuing to go down that path of looking at how and what we can do as a city to continue the growth of the city of Grand Rapids. When we look at the 7-county Arrowhead region, Itasca County is one of the only counties that is expanding outside of St. Louis County. Is got some expansion in the Duluth area. So some of the towns that were mentioned there are actually declining in population. Grand Rapids is actually growing at 5.2%, and that is after annexation. Rob talked about annexation being completed in 2010. This demographer's report from the state of Minnesota is from 2010 to 2017, so those numbers are not reflective of annexation. It is actual growth of the city of Grand Rapids and actually the city of Cohasset. So congratulations to the city of Cohasset that's growing at about 1.7% for continued growth over there as well. But as 2 of the key cities in Itasca County, it's nice to see some growth that continues to happen here. So we look forward to seeing everyone in 2 weeks at our next council meeting. Have a nice evening.